booties on my fleek. Waistline snatched. Got a brain body looks out to match.
She likes to call herself Dr. Booty, and in some of her viral videos that have since been removed from YouTube. But tonight, Dr. Wendel has a suspended medical license.
A surgeon dances and plays around with an unconscious patient on the table. Now, the doctor's methods and her marketing videos are under fire.
Okay, first we brought you the story of Dr. Roxy, who was butchering people in Ohio and lost her medical license. Now we're in Atlanta, Georgia, to bring you the butcher of Atlanta, Dr. Booty. All right, welcome to the channel. We got a story about a doctor in Ohio named Dr. Roxy, who essentially was doing the same thing. Filming patients in surgery, putting it up on TikTok, I believe it was, and eventually she got her license suspended for life. She can't practice medicine again.
Dr. Roxy.
Dr. Roxy.
Dr. Roxy. She's the famous physician known as Dr. Roxy. You could travel the world. She live streamed plastic surgery on TikTok, but now Dr. Roxy, whose real name is Catherine Grawy, has been permanently stripped of her license by the state medical board in Ohio.
So Dr. Roxy was eventually sued into oblivion by her former clients because she botched a whole bunch of surgeries and violated a whole bunch of rules. But if you think Dr. Roxy's story was bad, you haven't heard about Dr. Booty. She literally is the butcher of Georgia. Now, who is Dr. Booty? Well, this is Wendel Booty, and state records show that she is a board-certified dermatologist. That's a skin doctor, for those of you who don't know. Now, being a dermatologist doesn't pay the bills as being a surgeon. So, Dr. Booty decided to just one day wake up and say she is a board-certified surgeon, even though she had absolutely no history of doing any type of cosmetic surgeries. Now, the interesting part here is Dr. Booty found a very interesting loophole in the law. See, according to state medical records, Booty is a board-certified dermatologist, as I just mentioned, and is not board-certified in general surgery or plastic surgery. In Georgia, it is legal for any physician to operate, even if they are not board certified as a surgeon.
Georgia allows doctors to practice medicine outside of their specialty, regardless of their board certifications. Booty, a dermatologist, claimed she was certified in cosmetic surgery on her website. The state now says those claims were false or unsubstantiated.
It goes back to they have really loosened up the rules.
So Dr. Booty figured out that, hey, I'm a doctor, so I can do any surgery I want under Georgia law. That's a great loophole for her. So Dr. Booty, with essentially no training, all of a sudden became a cosmetic surgeon and started running ads like this.
So tell me, why do you want a butt enhancement?
Well, my first husband liked blonde, so I bleached my hair platinum blonde.
Well, Dr. Booty, I just got a divorce because my husband left me for a stripper.
That dog.
I just want a butt enhancement because I feel like it's just the right thing to do right now.
My second husband was a boob guy, so that's why I got these.
I got my alimony check, and now I want my bounce back booty. And I'm the little itty bitty slim thick girl.
Ooh, we can't have that. That is so not today.
And now the love of my life is an ass man, so that's why I'm here.
That's what I do, boo. Booties, Dr. Booty. Bodies by Booty.
Now, it's a hell of a thing to go from popping pimples to major reconstructive surgery on people's breasts and booties, but Dr. Booty decided she was qualified enough to do it. Now, we're scratching the surface here. We haven't talked about how Dr. Booty didn't get consent from her patients to film them and put them on YouTube. We haven't even talked about the 150 patients who have now had complications who filed complaints against Dr. Booty. There's a lot going on here that we're about to get into. But before we get into the rest of this video and show you the shocking things that Dr. Booty was doing, let me tell you about the sponsor, ZBiotic. Now, any product that I promote on this channel, I try to use it. I try to use it to make sure it does what it says it does. ZBiotic is a pre-alcohol probiotic drink and is the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. Now, it was invented by PhD scientists to tackle rough mornings after drinking. Here's how it works. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut. Now, it's this byproduct, not dehydration, that's to blame for your rough next day. Now, that's the beauty of ZBiotic. It produces an enzyme to break this byproduct down. And all you have to do is make ZBiotic your first drink of the night, drink responsibly, and you'll feel your best tomorrow. So recently, I had a friend who had a bachelor party in Las Vegas.
All eyes on me, drinks on me, girls on me, on the dance floor. All eyes on me, who is he? Man, you better come get your girls up. All eyes on me, party like a rock star. You can find me in VIP.
So now if you're over 35 and you're like me, you know, you can't party like you used to. Now, I was a little skeptical about ZBiotic's pre-alcohol probiotic drink, but it worked for me and I felt great the next day. Now, if you want to give it a shot, go to ZBiotic/Nate to get 15% off your first order when you use the promo code Nate at checkout. ZBiotics is backed with a 100% money back guarantee. So if you're not satisfied for any reason, they'll refund your money, no questions asked. Remember, head to ZBiotics.com/Nate to use the code Nate at checkout for 15% off. And thanks to ZBiotics for sponsoring this video. Now, surgeries are expensive. They're not like popping pimples. So Dr. Boutte had to now hook up with a bank so her patients can finance these expensive reconstructive surgeries of their booties.
I obtained this document from a former bank insider and showed it to a patient who canceled her procedure in the wake of our investigation 3 weeks ago. That patient saw this and said it could make all the difference.
This document is my down payment.
Shavella Hill showed me how she paid close to a $5,000 down payment through the medical finance company Care Credit. It was April 30th, more than 30 days before her scheduled June 5th liposuction with Dr. Wendel Boutte. Boutte's agreement with the finance company states accounts should only be charged for services actually rendered within 30 days of the charge.
I definitely believe it does make my case stronger. For sure it does.
Hill's been promised a refund of less than half the total she paid, even though she canceled and never got surgery. The agreement also says it's deemed unreasonable to refuse to refund money when services are not performed.
It was more of, no, you broke my contract. You don't want me to operate on you. So this is pretty much like, I feel like, my punishment.
Care Credit will not say how many patients are seeking refunds from cancellations triggered by our investigation of Boutte's surgical antics and the complications from her table.
So Dr. Boutte went from popping pimples on people's faces to now doing major cosmetic reconstructive surgeries on people's bodies. And she wasn't certified to do the cosmetic surgery, she was certified to pop pimples. Now, just because you claim to be a cosmetic surgeon doesn't mean the patients are gonna come. So how does Dr. Boutte get more patients? How? Let's dance in this operating room and put the videos on TikTok.
Correct. So let's start with the dancing. Let's start with the music and where did that even start? Where you said, you know what, I'm going to institute this in the during a procedure.
Right. Well, you know, Mike, I've been in practice for going on 22 years now, and up until 19 years ago, no legal issues, no claims, no lawsuits, things of that nature. When I added music to it to educate, all of a sudden, people paid attention. And so I use music, and in these instances, these were all consented videos. They were staged, they were planned, and it started with a contest. In October of 16, I was marketing free services, you know, and one of the contestants asked, hey, why don't you do a video after the fact to kind of highlight your beautiful work, because your work is just that beautiful, Dr. Boutte. And I was like, okay. So just like, I'll consent, you know, and why don't you put a song to it? You know, I like doing the butt. I'm like, you know, I like music. If it's a way for you to celebrate your transformation and the beauty that...
So this was a patient who suggested?
This was a patient that was a contest winner from Dallas.
Gotcha.
That suggested And so I thought, I thought about it long and hard, but she was like, Doc, you do some of the best work nationally. This is why people come to you from, 18, 20 states. I see you, all these people from different parts of this country and out of the country coming to you.
Okay, so Dr. Boutte said, hey, these were the patient's idea, and on top of it, they consented. But when state investigators looked at the paperwork, come to find out, patients didn't actually consent to any of this. Check it out.
The woman knocked out on the table while she's being cut on YouTube saw our story and she called me to identify herself.
But to see that video with my flesh being cut without a straight line and dancing while cutting me, that's horrible.
Latoya Arsheen was among the first to see video of Dr. Wendel Boutte making an incision and mugging for the camera while the rap song Cut It plays. A text from Boutte confirmed that's Arsheen on the table. Cut It is your song, girlfriend. You did awesome. The photo release form is signed only by a member of Boutte's staff. Where Arsheen was supposed to sign is blank.
I feel disrespected on a lot of levels.
So it seems like the doctor was filming her patients while they were out cold on the table without their consent and putting the videos on YouTube. This is horrible. It's horrible for these patients. Now, I need you to remember, Dr. Boutte is a certified dermatologist. She doesn't do surgeries, or she didn't do surgeries. Now she's performing these major surgeries. So when the state's medical board found out she was doing this and interviewed patients, they suspended her license. These are the reasons why.
The board instead determined Boutte failed to perform to minimal standards after investigating 7 of her former clients. It found most had no pre or post-op exams at all. In one case, a patient received a different procedure than was listed in medical records, and a surgical assistant did surgery without supervision. That woman now has brain damage. With evidence, an unlicensed person in the room at the time was held out to be a nurse. Boutte told our Steve Osunsami,
I have medical assistants that are well trained in what we do, because we do it every day.
So you don't have any nurses in your office?
Not at present.
So
I did at one time, yes.
So what happened to Dr. Boutte? Well, she was sued into oblivion by her former patients.
A surgeon dances and plays around with an unconscious patient on the table. Reporter Jim Strickland with our Atlanta sister station heard from patients and family members who say a dermatologist left them scarred for life.
Isilma Cornelius was about to get a PhD in nursing and about to get married. She trusted Dr. Wendel Boutte to help her look her best.
I just wanted to keep her costs down and give her what she needed from a liposculpting standpoint for her wedding. I told her, that's my present to you.
Dr. Boutte's surgery center is not accredited and does not use general anesthesia. Documents show Cornelius was under for 8 hours on a cocktail of drugs anchored by propofol.
We have a patient that doesn't have a heart rate. Is this person in cardiac arrest? Yes. And what happened prior to this? She was in surgery.
Isilma Cornelius isn't fine. She never got married. Permanent brain damage has left her in need of constant care. A recent settlement is confidential, but part of Dr. Boutte's deposition speaks volumes.
Are you aware that her life care plan is in excess of $13 million for the care that she's going to require in the future?
No.
Boutte also testified Cornelius got no refund and, in fact, got a bargain.
Until now, I really wasn't even thinking about what she paid or what she didn't pay, because I did $20,000 worth of work for $11,000.
She settled 5 malpractice cases in just the last 6 months. 4 more are pending, including theirs.
It's more like Freddy Krueger cut my stomach.
Mitzi McFarland and her sister, Christine Dolly, drove here from Alabama.
The dignity of the patient was absolutely compromised in that video.
Arsheen is now represented by attorney Susan Witt, who estimates 100 former patients have now come forward with complaints.
So now we're at the end of the video. What do you think? I honestly think Dr. Boutte should be locked up, but the laws in Georgia allowed her to do this. It allowed her to pretend to be a surgeon when she wasn't. It allowed her to take on these clients and do these surgeries when she wasn't qualified. She had no nerves. She was letting unqualified people do surgeries on patients. This is insane. Now, again, we've seen other doctors with the same problem. Obviously, Dr. Roxy from earlier. So tell me how you feel in the comment section. Tell me if there should be more done. This doctor will not be practicing medicine again. This doctor probably financially is going to be destroyed for the rest of her life. But do you think this is enough? I think this is wholly not enough. I think this doctor should be criminally charged in some way. There's got to be something that protects people from predators like this. And my God, she didn't even give the people refunds. She wasn't even giving them refunds after literally butchering them the way she was butchering them. But let me know how you feel in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, do all that great YouTube stuff. Tell me where I'm wrong. As always, my name is Nate the Lawyer, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.